Hey everybody, welcome to Localite. John Compton here, and today on the show we've got Cameron Kaseberg, and you probably remember Cameron from Wheat Acres, but Cameron has moved on to some other things, and we're going to learn all about that. He's become quite the established artist. So Cameron, thanks for coming on. It's good to see you. It's been too long, actually.
It's been a while. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, I've been looking forward to it. So get a chance to finally catch up. It's too bad that we have to have to get you on a show to get caught up, but you know, I'll take it anyway. So let's start off for folks that may not know. You were actually born and raised in Sherman County.
I was born on a wheat ranch outside of Wasco.
Okay, and you graduated high school out there? And
grade school, high school.
The whole works?
Yes.
And you've always been around art, always interested in art, and...
I've always been exposed to art. My mother and aunts were all artistic, and so I was exposed to it from a little kid. Finger painting to stitchery to photography to painting, drawing. I mean...
Any particular one that you were most interested in or gravitated towards?
It depends on the time.
Yeah?
I'd spend my summers driving a wheat truck, sitting waiting for a load of wheat. I'd be drawing houses and floor plans and that kind of stuff, and but probably the most interesting and the one I got most involved in was photography. Photography.
Did you think at any point back then, sitting in the hay truck, sketching away and taking pictures and things, that you'd do it for a living?
That was always my goal.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you then went on, you moved out of Sherman County, moved to Portland, the big city.
I left Sherman County my junior year of high school.
Okay.
And I went to Minneapolis. And I lived with my aunt and uncle for the summer and went to summer school at the university. I took photography and printmaking and explored the city. And while I was there, I decided that I was going to be a city kid.
Aha. So then you ended up at Portland State.
I did. I convinced my parents to let me move directly back to Portland and not finish my senior year.
Okay.
So I went to Portland Community College, finished my high school credits, went back to Sherman County and graduated with my class.
Oh.
And then moved to Portland State, where I studied for my degree in graphic design and applied design. Okay.
And then you took that and went into, like, I want to say you did like bus wraps and trade exhibits and things like that, or big stuff.
My first job in the city that was related to art and design was working in the museum, exhibit and trade show industry.
Okay.
I was a production graphic artist.
So what's that?
I spent a lot of time screen printing, making screens, cleaning screens, and doing a lot of the cutting vinyl and weeding vinyl that a lot of the signage was made back then, before the big permanent inkjet printers took over.
Okay.
But
so everything actually had to be manually pressed almost, or
well, the screen prints like they do regular T-shirts, like they do that, only these are big signs and big panels.
Okay.
The vinyl is a blade that cuts out vinyl, and you peel it off, and it goes onto the signs. And
okay.
They're still around, but a lot of it's gone to the big inkjet printers.
Yeah, yeah. And then you came back out to the Dells after
quite a few years in the
city.
Trade show industry. I kind of ended up back here helping my dad fix up the
family business.
The family business. He had just moved into a new space in the Dalles and kind of wanted it to not look like an old shop, but more like a retail space. So I said I'd come back and do that. I said I'd give him a couple weeks, and I ended up being there 12 years.
A couple weeks into 12 years. Well, how do you think your 12 years with the family business, Wheat Acres, which everybody that's been around the gorge for any time knows of Wheat Acres and remembers it, an irrigation supply company, what did you learn there that, I mean, it doesn't seem, irrigation, it doesn't seem, when you think about it, not all that creative, but it is. And you, what did you learn during that process?
Well, I learned a lot about business, obviously. A lot about business. A lot about people. Retail is totally different than what I was doing before. I kind of just was immersed into it and had to do it. I learned a lot about my dad.
Yeah.
I had a great time working with him. That was probably the best part.
Yeah. And then you guys sold the business? Is that, or just kind of retired out of it?
Kind of retired out of it.
Yeah.
He wanted to retire, and it was time to move on and do different things. So.
Yeah, yeah. And some of your artwork, though, can be seen actually, or you did some things, I guess, for not the Morrow Museum, the other one.
The Sherman County Historical Museum.
Thank you, yes. What pieces did you do there?
In this whole transition phase of moving from Portland and doing all this, I spent a great deal of time working with them on their first interpretive exhibit called Oregon Trails, Rails, and Roads in Sherman County. And it's a large walkthrough exhibit with artifacts and graphics, and we designed it from the ground up as an interpretive exhibit with all volunteers. They did. I designed it. They built it. They painted the murals. They put everything together. That was an amazing experience in itself, just working with that group of people.
Yeah, it's still there today?
It's still there.
You can still see it?
Yeah, that was the first one, Oregon Trails, Rails, and Roads in Sherman County. And then we had designed it to be finished on the second side with Wheat Through the Ages, the story of wheat farming in Sherman County and its impact on the global economy. And there's actually kernels of grain and little vials in that exhibit that date back to the time of the pharaohs.
Oh, no way.
That were found in tombs there. Sherman County has a really good connection with OSU's Extension Service, so there was a lot of cooperation there.
Great, great. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but I want to talk about your artwork that you're doing now and some of the shows. I know you're doing a lot of traveling, and you've relocated not too long ago, so we'll talk about all of those things. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more of Cameron Kaseberg on Localite. Stay tuned.